What you saying, people? Back with a bang. This is the Money Management. It's Financial Friday, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about what the rich people do not want you to know. So you're probably thinking to me, what? Rich people don't want us to know something? They've already got all the money they need. Well, that is true, but the reason I'm talking about this today is because there are many more than just the rich people who don't want you to know this. This goes down to society, this goes down to the government, this goes down to so many different people, people at the top, the education system. There are a lot of people who don't want you to know certain things. Now, the reason they don't want you to know is because they can keep winning. They can keep making more money. They can keep living the life they want to live without too many people affecting it. So in this video, I'll give you guys those 6 or 7 things that they don't want you to know, and you can go out and guess what you can do? Start to do those things that they don't want you to know, and you can become just like them. But before we get into that, I need to make sure you guys are leaving likes on these videos. As always, you guys are commenting on these videos. If you're new, if you've been here a while, whatever you may be, if you guys need to subscribe to this channel, click the red button right below. And of course, I want you guys to share these videos with your friends. Remember, the rich people don't want us to know these things, so make sure we get these videos out to more people so that more people know what the rich don't want us to know, more people can understand what they need to do to become the rich, and more people can get to the top of their game. So to start off with, the first thing that rich people don't want you to know, your salary alone is not enough income. So you might think to yourself, well, it depends. I'm earning, 30,000 a year, or I'm earning 500,000 a year for my salary. That is not the case. Because I'll tell you this, if your employer decides to cut you, whether you earn 30k, 50k, 100k, 200k, 500k a year, if they decide to cut you, guess what? No more salary, it's gone. So you won't get rich off your salary alone. What does that mean? That means you need to invest your money. You need to get more money from other places. You need to have side hustles. As you guys may or may not know, yesterday, right after I made a video about the benefits of having an online business, actually I got a sale on my watches. So that was kind of weird, but it was a good thing. But that's what I'm talking about when it comes to side hustles, making money, making an extra source of income. You will not get rich off just your salary alone. The second thing is inflation steals your wealth. It takes your wealth from you. So you need to invest. Now, how can you invest, without losing money to inflation? Well, for example, putting your money in assets, buying stocks, bonds, commodities, investing in real estate. It is a lot better to have your money tied up in stocks, which are growing, accumulating price, getting percentage gains, than your money sitting in a bank. If you have 30k and it's just sitting in your bank in savings or in checking, whatever you want, it will stay 30,000. In 2 years, it's still 30,000. In 5 years, it's still 30,000. So you might think this is okay, I'm not losing money. However, when inflation kicks in, let's talk about, let's say a loaf of bread, for example. A loaf of bread may be $1 today, $2 today. In 5 years, inflation might kick in. It might be $3. In 10 years, that loaf of bread, that same loaf of bread, might be $5. So the 30,000, which could you got you this many, loaves of bread 5 years ago, may only be able to get you so many loaves of bread this year. So what I'm trying to say here is, you might have seen countries, let's say Zimbabwe, for example, where the money is just worthless because of inflation. I'm not saying, economies like, the US, any European economies will get to that level. What I am saying is you're still losing out on money. If you put your money in, assets which are growing, for example, stocks, index funds, mutual funds, bonds, your money shall start to grow and inflation will not affect you. Inflation will not affect your wealth, and you'll be better off investing your money so that your money is not just sitting there and becoming less valuable. The third thing, buy assets, not liabilities. Rich people don't want you to know this. Why? Well, because look, they get an income, they get money, they get paid. That goes in towards assets. That goes in towards, stocks. That goes in towards bonds. That goes into real estate. And guess what? Those assets pay them more money. Those assets bring in more money. And those assets can start buying them the fancy cars, the other liabilities, the shoes, the clothes, the houses. But what do they want you to think? They want you to think they got money and they went out and bought the houses. They went out and they bought the, the nice cars. They went out and bought the flashy stuff. That is not what happened. Rich people buy assets. Rich people invest their money in assets. And those assets bring back more money. And those assets will pay for the liabilities. Everyone on the planet has liabilities, yes. But the difference between rich people and poor people is the rich people will invest their money into assets. The poor will put their money straight into liabilities. So while they're getting money from the assets, you're using money straight into your liabilities and it's gone. So don't focus on liabilities. Use your money and put it into assets. The fourth thing rich people don't want you to know. Never spend more than you make. I've told you this so many times. This is the most simple rule for me. If you live a life where each and every month you save more than you spend, you make money and you don't spend all that money, you eventually will become rich. It's gonna happen. Added to that, of course, you need more one source of income. Added to that, you need maybe a little bit of luck along the way, but you will never be poor. You'll never be broke. Rich people, the people at the top, the main people, the people at the very top, they don't want you to know that. They want you to think, you can go into consumer debt. You can, put yourself down, sign up for car payments. You can start paying for stuff that you can't afford. That is not the way to do things. Added to, buying assets instead of liabilities. But when you do buy liabilities, make sure that you're not signing yourself up to pay for something which you cannot afford. As I always say to you guys, if you can't buy it twice in cash, don't buy it at all because you can't afford it. Avoid consumer debt. Consumer debt is bad. There's good debt and there is bad debt. Consumer debt is a part of bad debt. Save more than you spend. Make more than you spend. Trust me, it's going to be so much more beneficial to you when you can do that constantly and get into the rhythm of it, get into the habit of it, and do that on a regular basis, than you making $5,000 a month, going out and spending $5,010 a month and saying, okay, you know what? Well, tomorrow I get paid. I'll be safe. Don't do that. Make sure you save more than you spend. The fifth thing they don't want you to know: pay yourself first, always, at all times. And again, this is something I've talked about in multiple different videos, but now you know it's something that rich people don't want you to know. So maybe you'll take notice. Always pay yourself first. This is what the rich people do. They get money, it goes to their pocket, it goes to their bank, it goes to their savings, it goes to their assets. What do we do? What do the broke people do? They get paid, they get money, it goes into liabilities, it goes into someone else's hand, it goes into, their landlord's hand, it goes into someone else's hand, it goes into whoever's hands. I understand they have bills, I understand, we have stuff to pay, I understand we have stuff which is due, stuff we owe. But at the same time, I see people who get paid, they go out and buy clothes. They get paid, they go out and straight away buy a meal. Now, I'm not saying it's bad to have fun. It is good to have fun, it's good to stay happy, it's good to keep yourself happy. But at the same time, you need to worry about how much you're spending, who's getting your money. When your check comes in, where's that money going? This is why I always tell you guys to budget. Know where your money's going out, know where your money's coming in, know how much you're spending each and every month. It's important to pay yourself first because at the end of the day, you're all your own person. So whatever you get paid, whatever you work for, it should go to you first. It's your hard-earned money. You will put in the hours, you put in the time, you put in the effort. No matter if that's a 9 to 5, no matter if that's a side hustle, no matter what kind of income that is. You put in the time, you put in the effort, so you should reap the rewards first. I don't care how much money I make, if it's 100, in a month, if it's 10,000 a month. The first person who's getting paid when that money comes in is me. Yes, me, it's myself. Because I personally earned it, I put in the hours, I put in the effort. I'm the one who did all of that. No one else. It doesn't matter what you say, no one else did the effort. You did the effort, it's your hard-earned money, so pay yourself first. The sixth thing rich people don't want you to know is that compound interest works wonders. So what is compound interest? Well, for example, let's say you have $50,000. You put it into some stocks. You get an 8 to 10% return each and every year. Well, after that 8 to 10% return, you would have earned money on it. You would have earned money on that 50K. You would have come out with 55K, maybe 53K, whatever it is, depends on how much you got. Now, you get another 8 to 10% return on that money. Next year, you're coming out with, almost 60K. Next year, the year after, you get more compound interest. You get more returns on that money you're putting in. Guess what? Your money is growing. Now, if you realize something, you started off with 50K, within 10 years, you may be at 90K. That is the power of compound interest. And that's what rich people don't want you to know. So that ties back into my point from earlier, talking about, putting your money into assets. If you put your money into a house, which, was worth 100K 5 years ago, 10 years from now, it's worth 200K. In 15 years, your house has doubled. Your money, the equity, how much that property was worth has doubled. That is what I'm talking about when it comes to compound interest. Your money making money. Your money getting interest and making more money. That money getting more interest and the interest becoming more money. You guys need to know that compound interest works wonders. It does so much great things for you. That's why I say again, just leaving your money to sit in the bank doing nothing is not good. It's not helpful for you. It is great to have an emergency fund. I always tell you guys to have an emergency fund, so make sure you have one of those. But at the same time, use your money to get compound interest. Use your money to make more money. Use your money to bring you back some money. It is not difficult. You use these, 6 tips that the rich people don't want you to know. Eventually, you'll be one of those rich people. And when you see, the life you're living, you're going to understand why you don't want too many people to know about this life. You want to be ahead of the rest. So do the things that the other people are not willing to do. You want to be ahead of the rest? So go and put in the effort that the rest are not putting in. Be smart. Use knowledge to your advantage to make it powerful. And trust me, eventually you're going to be winning. So tomorrow is Saturday. It is the weekend. Make sure you guys are back here for another video. Today, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys use those tips so you guys can eventually become rich. Because as I always tell you guys, my aim on this channel is to make at least one person better each and every single day, one person closer to financial freedom, one person closer to financial success, one person more in control of their time. So eventually, you guys need to be that person. And if you're not already that person, start working towards it. So that's the video, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Be back here tomorrow for the weekend. But I've got one to making. You've got one to making. See you guys tomorrow for the weekend. Peace.